Welcome back, everybody. It's a fun episode. Silvia poses a lot of hypothetical situations to us. We talk about sex. We talk about cigarettes. We talk about cheaters. It's a fun episode. We hope you enjoy it. While you're here, we wanted to put it out there and say if you'd like to support us on Patreon, you could join starting at $5. Oh, $2 actually. $2, $5, $15 tiers. We're putting all kinds of content out on our Patreon. It's pilot season right now. We don't know how long pilot season is going to last, but we're putting up all kinds of bonus content, movie reviews. Josh and I have a music podcast called Songs for Everything. Silvia and Ricky are also working on shows. Everybody's doing new content. We're using the Patreon as our testing grounds right now. So if you want to be a part of that experience, if you want to get more content from us and have a say in the type of things that we produce, you can head over to our Patreon. Let us know what you think about it. If you want to join us on Discord, links are in the description. It's free to join. There's all kinds of cool stuff happening there. Sylvia's yet to join, but we'll send her the links and it'll be cool. You can talk to Silvia and she'll ask you some more fucked up questions. You'll see. What else?
Follow everyone on Instagram. Links in the description as well.
Hell yeah. Thanks again, everybody, for being here. Enjoy the episode.
Poquito, poquito, poquito podcast. Poquito, poquito, poquito podcast. Poquito, poquito, poquito.
How are you guys hanging in the summer heat?
I'm doing terribly. I cut my pants off.
This fool ruined a bunch of pants that you just bought.
You just bought those?
No, I didn't just buy these. I have other pants, and because I have new pants, I ruined pretty good pants that I've gotten compliments on. People are like, "Those are nice pants."
Yeah, they were pretty
Not
nice.
anymore.
Not no more.
Yeah,
Now they're punk rock.
you got those jorts on.
They're not jorts. Jorts are hemmed, and I believe they're above knee.
Is that the distinction you're going for?
Yeah.
Is it really? That's the
Yeah, these are
definition?
like cutoffs. You know,
I'm into cutoffs now.
I'm into cutoffs now.
I think. No, I don't know.
The thing about these ones is that these pants are too tight for me right now. So I'm getting nervous with everyone looking at them.
Well, gang, we're back. Welcome back to the show. It's me, Dominic Angel. I got Josh, the producer, Ricky Macias, Silvia the Ande in the house. Ryan's taking the week off. We were thinking about what we were going to talk about today, and something interesting happened to us over the weekend. We went to Chatterbox, and we saw Greg Sanchez perform. He headlined, good friend of ours, very funny. Great show. Then we went to go eat afterwards, and something happened at In-N-Out that happens every single time we go out to eat after a show. And I'm trying to enjoy my meal. And Sylvia, that's the most fucked up question she could think of.
I was like, where's he going with this?
What did I miss?
It wasn't even that crazy. It's not, I mean.
It's not crazy. It's not like, would you kill 100 people just for the feel of it?
For the feel?
Or the thrill?
The thrill?
Now you guys sound insane. But it's just like, it'll take up the whole conversation.
Right.
What was the last question she asked? Was about, we're not even going to say it.
Yeah. I have a stereotypical question that I do when I'm making fun of Sylvia's questions. Have you ever been around late enough to get into the Sylvia line of questioning? I'm always like, Sylvia will be like, so what's your biggest fear?
Meanwhile, I'm chopping up my pancakes, pouring syrup. Just like, do you feel like your relationship with your father has affected your love life in any meaningful ways?
How has your relationship with your father affected the way you feel about love?
Yeah, you should get that on a shirt.
Oh my God.
That would be
New
great merch for you.
idea.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
But honestly, I feel like you guys get awkward with those types of conversations or upset. You get upset. He gets legitimately like, why are you doing this?
Okay, I get upset when it's 5 o'clock in the morning at Denny's parking lot, and we're all like, "All right, let's go." And then she's like, "Wait, but first, new guy who's hanging out with us. It's
We
never
did
hung
that
out with
to
him before."
Noah.
I'm not sure of his last name. I just know
Noah
his name, Noah.
I think. And is it just Engine?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
okay, yeah. He was hanging out with us, and it was literally 5 o'clock in the morning. Everyone's being like, "Man, I'm dead tired. Like, I want to go home
I
so
was so
bad."
sleepy, yeah.
We're in Long Beach,
Yeah.
and everyone is so tired.
Everyone's really sleepy.
And then she's like, and she asked this poor kid that question, and he answered it.
Okay, the thing is I almost don't ask. I almost just say it hypothetically. I'm like, yeah, something I like to say a lot is, how has your relationship with your father affected the way you feel about love? And most of the time people are like, yeah, that's wild that you do that. But then sometimes people will be like, oh, and they'll start thinking about it. I'm like, let's fucking go. Let's go. How has it? And he was like, and Josh is like, you don't have to answer. If you answer, she's going to make everyone answer.
Well, no, I was like,
No, that's true, because it will happen where somebody starts talking about it, and then I'm moving on to my mozzarella sticks, and then she's like, "Now you?"
yeah. Well, we were in the parking lot, and he answered the question, and I was like, you didn't. I was like, you might be the only person that answered that question. And then Gigi answered it.
Yes.
And I was like, damn it. And then it just went down the line of everyone. And then everyone just looked at me. Mm-hmm. And the whole time I was verbally being like, we shouldn't do this.
The whole class took turn reading out of the book. You got to read out of the book.
Exactly. So,
But the thing that I'm trying to say is that I know it makes you guys feel uncomfortable, and it almost brings me more joy to do it. But I think you and me, Ricky, have had several conversations.
Actually, yeah. The last time I was a little drunk, but we got into it.
Yeah, and the thing is, you're so receptive with like deep and random questions. You don't even give it a thought as to whether or not you're going to answer it. You're like, we're fucking in this. I feel like so many times people have like tried to come up to talk to you, and you and me are like, and then and then that's how you felt when you were a child, and you're like, that's how I felt when I was a child. And people are just like, oh, this is like, walk away. Like, you're in something right now.
You mean they're normal? And they're like, so how's your day? And then you guys are having like a deep conversation about your fathers.
Hell yeah, dude.
And I'm like, geez.
You guys excited about the new Twisters?
yeah, basically.
It's called friendship. It's just called friendship. That's how you have friends.
So I'm like a time and place kind of guy. You know what I mean?
It's
I don't
always
mind.
the right time and place.
No,
You're goddamn right. Me too.
Sometimes I'm trying to chill.
Time and place.
Have fun.
All of them.
Yeah.
Do you have any questions?
Okay. Yes.
The hair.
I'm glad you asked.
Well, the question I asked at Denny's, and everyone had just started to like take their first bite too. I was like, let's say you had a daughter, right? She was 15 years old, and she's coming to you. She has a boyfriend that you don't approve of. And she comes to you and she's like, hey, Dad, in this case.
I hope.
I've been having some problems in the bedroom with my boyfriend. How would you respond?
Did you give the context that we don't like the boyfriend?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. You don't approve of her boyfriend.
I mean, whether or not I approve of the boyfriend has nothing to do with whether about her having sex. Like, those are two unrelated things. All you can do in that situation is give her the information about safe sex, and like, I'm not going to tell her how to get them hard.
I will.
Also, you're the mom.
You got a hot too.
Boo.
My instinct would be like, go talk to your mom, you know? But the other thing would just be like, well, it's all communication. If you can't communicate about this, how are you going to communicate about other hard things, huh?
Yeah. Or not.
Or lack thereof. Yeah, that's what I was saying. It's important to like make sure you're not breaking that trust. You know, they're coming to you. Obviously, they trust you with this information. Mm-hmm. It's awkward though.
It is awkward.
I'd probably express that.
I mean, that's the other thing is like, is this the first time I'm hearing about them having sex? Like,
I hope so. She's 15.
yeah, well, that's what I mean is like, this is how she's telling me that she's having sex is by saying I'm having trouble. Like, because then it's like there's, it's all more context.
Not in my house. Not in my fucking house. That's how. All right, sorry.
See, this is why these questions are so fun because I'm not giving you extra context.
What,
you know?
Well, what is your answer?
Probably similar to all of your guys' answers, where it's like, I feel very proud that she's like comfortable enough to come to me to like trust me with these types of questions and that she's not running to her friends who might like misinform her with stuff. So like, thank you for coming to me with this, but also like, I'm going to give you my opinion, even though you're not asking for it.
Right.
As well as my advice. Like, you know, this type of stuff happens in sexual relationships, but also I think you're too young to be doing this type of stuff. And that guy you're with is a dirtbag and he's only going to break your heart and it's going to fuck you up. So if it's like, if you're asking me how I feel about it, I don't think you should be doing it at all, let alone with him. But, you know, if you're just talking about the sexual part of it, this is something that happens or this is how, you know.
You just drove her straight to him.
You shouldn't have said the scumbag comment. That's what I would be worried about.
Yeah.
Just avoid the scumbag part.
Yeah.
Like, hey, people need to learn how to communicate, and if you can't do that over this,
I mean, yeah, I was in what felt like a very serious relationship when I was super young, and the whole time both of our families were like, "You're not allowed to be together."
Yeah.
We're like, "Watch this, dog."
Yeah.
watch us ruin each other's lives.
For real.
Yeah.
And in our situation, she was 15 and he was 16.
Yeah. Which isn't a crazy age difference.
No, it's not at all. I would just be like, if he's 16, he's already having issues. Like, for real. Jump.
But also, I didn't say
Fucking loser. That's what you're fucking, that's what you want to be with?
Damn.
I also didn't say what kind of issues in the bedroom.
We
you guys
assumed.
are all assuming that he can't get hard.
Well, that means that's like a
Well, yeah.
term for not being able to perform.
It's different if she's saying she's feeling pressure to do something.
Not
but that's
pressure, but there's different scenarios that could be issues
That's
in the
fair.
bedroom.
Okay, well,
like
then-
he
well-
can't make her come.
He can't make her come?
Yeah.
What a loser.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He can't perform at that age? What a dipshit.
He his dick smells.
What a
Oh.
loser.
Yeah, loser.
Hers smells.
Oh, well, that's
Her dick
natural. You
smells.
gotta go.
Hey, you're beautiful. You're made by God, and everything's.
These things are naturals.
No.
You gotta talk to your mom about your pH
Wash
balance.
it up.
Wash
Wash it up.
You know.
Clean it up.
It's a natural. What is it? It's
I
a
was trying to-
self-cleaning.
Right. I was just trying to switch.
It's a
from-
self-cleaning oven.
They have a spray for that.
You know?
Don't spray anything.
Make
in
sure you're
there.
clean.
I
We can
was-
take you to the doctor.
I was just trying to do the opposite of being like,
Right.
he's such a fucking loser.
Yeah.
But then when it's my angel,
It's like, she's like,
It's
she's
my
like, it
angel.
stinks down there. Like, you're fucking cool.
It's
rad as
supposed to stink down there.
it's because it's trying to reject a loser.
It's a defense mechanism.
Yeah, it's a defense. I don't know if you know this, but women have a natural defense mechanism.
I'm like, that's what it is all these years. Oh man. I think even just saying at this point, just kidding, makes it better. Let's just go with it. I'm gross. Just one of the boys.
Oh, man.
I'm gross would also be a funny T-shirt for you to wear.
Oh man, I feel
Some,
like
Photoshop on a Tootsie Roll. That's hilarious.
How did you picture that so quickly?
Yeah, it's so funny.
we have T-shirts for you already.
Yeah, I know, dude.
I love this. But also, like, you have a very specific perspective of who I am. You're like, put that on a t-shirt.
I just think those shirts would be funny.
They'd be hilarious.
Yeah.
I appreciate the perspective, but I'm like, all right, that's how Josh sees me. All right.
That's not how I see you. I don't see you as gross.
I'm
I would
gross.
not hang out
You
with
know
you.
what he said earlier? He's like, you're a disgusting bitch.
That sounds like me. That sounds just like me.
He's like, you shouldn't be riding in the front seat of my car.
Crazy.
And then he kicked me.
How did you do that, Josh? What's wrong with you?
So
The crazy part's no one will ever know.
Those jorts.
those shorts changed him, dude.
Yeah.
I think you're
The
only
George
one that
don't
got
lie. That's funny. Yeah, I mean, what are you gonna do? That's an interesting because it's like I said, like when I was in middle school, I was from like 12 to 14. I was in like a sexual relationship with somebody, and so that question actually like I can relate to it, and it's just like I don't know. All you can do in that moment, I feel like one, I can relay my experience to this person and be like, you're way too young to be like doing any of this. Like I know you have strong feelings and like you're gonna want to do it, you have urges, but like all I can do is give you the information and say like there's gonna be plenty of time for you to explore these things, but for right now I think you should focus on your school and your goals and and building your life that's ahead of you. Plus, this guy can't get hard, dude. He's a fucking loser. Dump his ass.
Yeah. That's the funniest part to me. What kind of a 16-year-old can't can't keep it up?
I'd be like, honey. Let me tell you something, you know.
It's gross.
He might not be your boyfriend. He might just be a friend that's a boy.
Just
That's
snaps.
funny.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kids shouldn't be having sex.
No, not at all.
What age do you think people should realistically have sex?
I think that you start probably experimenting for real at like 16, 17. But like,
Yeah, I agree. Right as you
Yeah.
can get your driver's license, it should be the same class. The joke didn't land.
I was trying to
Same
literally trying to
sex ed and driver's ed.
literally in my head, I was like, ask grass or I was like, fuck, there's something I can and then it was too gone. I was like, class, grass or ass.
Or crash.
I feel like that happens with Ricky a lot, where he'll set up a really good premise and everybody's like, "Oh fuck!" Oh.
Yeah.
I feel like people shouldn't start having sex until like they're in college. Like I'm not gonna stop. Like you can't stop them from doing it,
No.
but I feel like a healthier time would be like out of high school.
Yeah.
Probably so.
Because to me, I mean, I'm saying this with my experience where I started having sex super like way too young.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's more important to learn how to build like friendships with people and focus on those kinds of relationships versus like sexual relationships, because you have a lot more time to do it.
For sure.
And if you have,
I had plenty of friends
okay.
by junior year.
Okay.
I just mean like you were way younger. So not that much time to build friends. Right? Isn't that what you're saying?
I guess.
Sex friends? Or
That's
friends that
when
had
you're older.
sex?
Also, I mean, it was a
I think he was saying like working on like personal relationships and how to like
Just interpersonal
maintain
skills. Yeah.
friendships before you go
Which is
and
other
try and
stuff.
start a family.
Yeah. I mean, some people did, you know?
Did your guys' parents ever talk to you about sex, like as children? Like, were they the ones
yeah,
to
they
introduce
were
you to it?
saying, don't do it.
yeah.
My mom talked to us a lot about it because she had kids at a young age. She had my older brother when she was
Oh,
like
yeah.
15,
Both
16.
of you guys had cool parents.
Yeah. So she definitely was like, don't ever have kids. And then now she's like, where are my grandkids?
I know. Hypocrites. No, I'm just joking.
Every last one of you.
My dad talked to me about it, but he talked to me about it in like a very dad way, you know? Like, you know about sex kind of a thing? Driving in a truck.
How old are you?
Probably like 13 or 14.
You know what's interesting that we're talking about this is that I just saw this report that said that Latinos are the least likely to wear to practice like safe sex.
That doesn't surprise me at all.
Doesn't surprise me either.
Why do you
Feels
think?
better.
Honestly,
I've heard.
Latinos are real.
I mean, cut this up. It's too much, but but it's like, you know, Catholicism, but it's also religion, but it's also like foreskin counts as a condom, right?
That's what I was gonna say. Latinos have foreskin. They're like, we catch most of it.
does. But also,
Gross.
didn't a Mexican come up with contraceptives? I think Mexicans came up with birth control. I don't know if they came up with condoms or not, but they came up with some contraceptives.
I know condoms are pretty like ancient, like sheepskin or whatever, that stuff. But
Be fruitful and multiply. That's all I ever heard growing up.
That's a European thing. That's like a Christian thing.
Yeah. My family were Christians.
yeah, but I'm not surprised. We never had those conversations. And then you get older and they're like, oh, the girls are gonna take you away. I'm like, what are you talking about? They're gonna steal me?
Yeah.
Please take me away. There's so many people here.
Someone's got to get me out of
Someone's
this.
got to get me out.
I've shared a room for too long.
I mean, do you think religion play? I mean, obviously religion has to play some part
Yeah, I
in
think
it.
so. Because
In the condom thing?
Yeah, well, like just like safe sex in general.
I think so, because my mom was even told and given a book on the rhythm method. Apparently, I learned this about in my adulthood.
On the what?
The rhythm method, where basically
Go
like
on.
it just teaches you how to fuck real good. I'm kidding.
All right,
you heard
you're
that
the
in my
base, you're
parents?
the-
If you heard that in my parents, you know what's going down. Some bad beatboxing.
Chapter 1.
Bow chicka bow wow.
Rhythm method.
What's the rhythm?
If I remember and understand correctly, it's basically you track your period and your ovulation to know when's the safest time to have sex.
That's just an ovulation cycle.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean that sounds smart.
Yeah.
Actually.
It's actually smart, but it's also like you're still risking. You're
So
still
it's
risking.
being like, let's have sex at the least likely time for you to get pregnant, kind of a thing.
Or the most likely if you're trying to have
Right,
kids.
right.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, yeah, that just sounds like good planning.
Yeah, but they also say it's a sin to do it for not procreation, but
Right.
you know.
Any sex for not procreation is a sin in
Right.
God's eyes.
Yeah, Josh
I mean,
tells
but-
us that a lot.
A
Yeah.
sin as bad as murder.
He says it at 4 a.m. at Denny's
He loves saying that
over his moons over my hammy.
just all the time. He sees two people in love. He's like, sex without procreation is sin.
You should put that on a shirt.
Yeah. That should be on your shirt.
I should wear that shirt.
That's your shirt.
Tight. That's tight.
That's your shirt. I found out about sex really young because my dad had cable and he worked nights. So then I would like watch TV in his room. That's the only place I could watch TV. And I saw porn. Then I was like 6. And I was just watching porn all the time. I'm like, why are these people doing this? It's fucking weird. And then my grandma walked in on me once. She's like, oh my God, what are you doing? And I was like, why are they doing that? And she's like, turn it off. Don't ever see that again. And then she told my dad. And then my dad told my mom. And then at a family party, my mom took me out to the car. She's like, come with me. And I was like, okay. I went to the car and she was like, what were you watching in your dad's room? I was like, these people were like wrestling naked. And she was like, this is what sex is. Sex happens like this. Women have vaginas, men's have penises, and then they put it in each other. And then like she didn't stop there. She told me about lesbian sex. She told me about oral. She told me about like anal and just every
She
kind.
could have
said
stopped at
multiple-
oral.
She really
She's like, then in your college years.
no. She just explained every type of sex to me in that moment. And I'm like, why would people do that? She's like, because they like it. And then I was like, and why do they do it? She's like, to have kids. And I was like, you have to do all of that to have a kid. And then she was like, if you kiss someone, you'll get pregnant.
There it is.
And then I was like, nobody better fucking kiss me, I swear to God. My grandma tried to kiss me on the cheek. I'm like, I'll fucking attack you, bitch.
She knows better.
That's funny. That's illegal.
Someone kisses me on accident. I'm like crying, just terrified. Like it's happened.
I was like, wow, too much info, but what an irrational mom. She's like, and then you'll get pregnant if you kiss.
I know.
There it is. That's what I know.
And then she's like, also, don't tell any of your friends at school because their parents should be the one to tell them all of this. And I'm like, okay, but I didn't have any friends at school. I'm like, I'm about to be the coolest motherfucker. I'm the only one who knows this.
My parents were conservative, so they didn't really go into too much detail about all that stuff at all.
Yeah, my mom just told me not to do it. And
Basically.
then to make sure I used a condom when I did.
Mm-hmm.
But also the thing is that, like I said, I started having sex when I was like 12 or 13. So like,
Which is insane.
yeah. So they didn't really have the opportunity to, and I don't know. I have to talk to my older brother because I don't know if he got a sex talk, but I feel like we would have had it at the same time.
Yeah, imagine you're like, yeah, I got a few more. What the? I got a few more years to tell them, and you're just already been there. Like,
Yeah.
oh, that whole thing?
Yeah, that's crazy.
I don't know. I mean, I think it makes more sense to have the talk younger, at least into middle school, because that's when like you start getting into puberty.
Yeah, learning about it.
Yeah, because it was like, yeah, I don't know. I forgot what I was gonna say.
Yeah, it just depends on what your method of raising your kid is, I guess. Like, some people are more conservative. Some people don't think kids need to even be thinking about that until they're like a little bit older. You know what I mean?
I get that, but also I'm just like, I can't not, with my life experience, like see it that way. Because it's like
Right.
kids are going to explore, and especially now that like porn is so easily accessible.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, especially now.
Yeah. There's like kids growing up today with like porn addictions.
Yeah, that's probably very low numbers, but yeah.
No.
I heard that Gen Z is having
Yeah,
less
because
sex.
it's like I thought you just look at the way the vaping and smoking cigarettes increased again, and I thought it was kind of all bullshit when I was first hearing about that. But I remember not that long ago seeing kids, like high school kids, smoking a vape out of a baguette bread
right.
they bought out of Vons to hide it, and I was like, that is so funny and so dumb.
Yeah,
And like everyone knows what you're doing.
I'm not saying that no kids are smoking vapes or no kids are watching or have porn addictions, but
now
it's
you
probably not like an epidemic.
Well, I think I can see it because just seeing like people younger than me, like how everyone vapes, just I know it's not scientific, but just seeing the increase in vapes and smoking cigarettes now, when like a lot of millennials don't.
Which is so crazy to me because I was like, I used to work in the vape industry and everybody made fun of me.
Yeah, yeah, and now it's just normal.
Yeah,
I
now
mean, I feel
everybody
like people
does
have
it.
been vaping for a long time now, right?
I mean, it's been around for at least a little bit over 10 years now.
E-cigarettes started a while back.
Yeah, but so like I think it was 2014 is when I started working in the industry, and I think like the industry was becoming it was like in its 5th year of like entering the like United States.
Yeah,
Because I feel like, I can't remember how long ago it was, but I remember people making fun of people being like cloud
chasers.
yeah. I don't know. I can't remember the dates. So.
but even just like as an analog to that, because porn is just way more accessible than a vape is. Because you could do it underage so much easier than you can get. Because even vaping, like it's still hard to get it if you're underage.
I mean, yeah, and I get it. I don't know. Do you think that you would be addicted to porn if you were 12?
I mean,
Me? Yeah.
You would?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I would watch it all the time when I was 6.
dude, coming feels the best when you're 12.
Yeah, you're like, this is new.
Kidding me?
No,
That's
it doesn't.
I mean, wild sentence, but yeah.
Don't find out.
I was also like bad at it. I'm sorry, this is too revealing. But like, I would just like, when I first learned how to like, by myself, and like I would get headaches because I was just holding my breath because I didn't know what I was doing. I just get like pounding headaches.
Asphyxiation.
Yeah. Thank God I didn't keep doing that. But yeah.
But all that to say,
Practice makes perfect.
All that to say, yeah, I think you should have a conversation with your kids like
Yeah.
early on.
Yeah, you don't have to hold your breath the whole time. Yeah. Like,
But also, I think like the generation, at least, we're all about the same age,
Yeah.
right?
there's like a cascade
I
of
think
age.
you're like significantly younger than us.
Not significantly. I wouldn't say significantly.
How old are you?
28.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're all in our 30s.
But we're millennials.
Yes.
Okay.
I
Same
thought you were
gen.
Gen Z.
No.
What?
Yeah, we're I'm like
I'm
an
just
elder.
immature.
I'm like on the elder millennial side, I think.
Yeah.
I'm 35.
Yeah.
Okay.
89 is the cutoff year.
I'm 89.
Yeah.
95.
What were you gonna say?
Oh. Well, I think millennials specifically, we grew up with our parents all having way too many kids and like teen pregnancies and stuff. And it was such a fear for them that they like it instilled, at least in my like experience, my mom's biggest thing for me, my sister, and my brother was just like, if you get pregnant or get somebody pregnant, I'm not going to help you. You're out of my house. Like that's the one rule. If you break it, like basically like you're done, you're out of my life and I'm not going to help you. So it was like, it was such a hardcore thing ingrained to all of us. And I think most of the people that I knew too, and I mean, I still like, there were still a lot of girls at my school who got pregnant in high school, you know, but like, I think now we know so many millennials that like had that ingrained in us that we're just like, I don't even fucking want a kid at all. Like I never want to have a kid. And I think Gen Z kids now are like even past that point where they're so much smarter about it. They're probably still having sex and doing all that stuff. But I think because our parents put that in us so much more and we have like, you know, therapy and all this other like skills that we've accumulated over time that we're kind of teaching Gen Z kids how to be more open and communicative, that at least they know how to protect themselves. They don't want kids. Maybe they're fucking, but like they're being very safe about it because they've been able to have those conversations with like their millennial-ish parents, you know?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Maybe.
I don't know. I couldn't speak up to
I
that.
hear from the little I've paid articles that I've kind of paid attention to is like some of it I think is that like just like not exposing themselves to like social dangers in general as much because we kind of still did that.
Yeah.
But also it's just like the housing crisis. It's
The
like
housing crisis.
exacerbates that problem.
Global warming.
Global
Yeah.
warming
is a thing.
Yeah, all those things like collaboratively reduce that, I think, to a degree.
And also the internet and like not going out and what you were saying, like we were still getting in trouble because we were still being out and going out and doing stuff. I think kids now have so much more access to like the internet than we did. So their hangs are like on their phones or at someone's house.
Yeah.
Like malls are empty now.
Yeah.
You know?
And I think that's more normal. Huh?
But didn't we hate malls?
Yeah, but we went.
Yeah, I know.
That was like our choice, like the mall or where else, you know?
Yeah.
But I don't know. I feel like the mall thing, I don't know, that's a different conversation. Like we knew that kind of a structured thing doesn't last. You know what I mean? That
I didn't know that.
hyper corporatism environment.
I didn't know that. I used to love going to the Oz store, dude.
These kids are still having
Oz
sex.
stores.
These kids are still fucking guys.
No, yeah, for sure. But I think it's
But I think they're
decreased.
safer about it.
I think I think the people right after us, what are they called?
Gen Z.
Gen Z.
You're
And
talking
then
about
there's
Gen
like
Alpha?
Gen Alpha.
Gen Alpha. is
Those
still
Gen Alpha
kids.
people are crazy.
They're like
Yeah.
feral.
They're fucking feral.
Yeah, for real.
They're fucking crazy. They're out there doing crazy shit.
Dude, I used to work. Gen Alpha, are they turning 20? Are they like in their 20s?
Already?
No.
I'm getting
No.
old.
Not Alpha,
shit.
Gen
I think they're still
Z.
teenagers,
Dude.
right?
Yeah.
Whoever, Gen Z coming out of quarantine. I used to work at a bar. And I would work the door at a bar, and dude, Gen Z were fucking running around, jumping on tables like it was a goddamn jungle gym.
Yeah.
I swear, like they were fucking
I believe
swinging
it.
over rails and like yelling and running through the place.
Hey, you see some parkour videos on TikTok. You got to try it out eventually.
They're weird. No, I will say that. They're a little strange. They're strange little birds.
Yeah. I think things will be fine. I think we got all that stuff you guys were talking about with Teen Mom. Teen Mom alone. I was like, I'm
That-
good. I'm good.
But it's like the studies have shown that like birth rates in teen pregnancies have decreased so much, but I think it's because we've talked about it so much more, which is like a really good argument for why you should teach sex ed. It's like, oh, people became informed and made better decisions.
Right.
Who'd have thunk?
And it's like the same thing with like the tobacco stuff. Like nobody watches TV, so there's none of these like we grew up with truth ads.
Yeah, we were inundated.
Yeah, which were paid
That's
for by
true.
tobacco companies.
Yeah.
You guys know that?
Is that true?
100%.
Good
Did
for
you
them.
did you know that? So cigarette. I've talked about this before. I mean, I know I've talked to you about it. People started smoking like flammable cigarettes again. Like it went way up over the last like 5-6 years.
Yeah.
And there's a conspiracy that so like I used to work in the vape industry, right? And at the time that I was working there, we were always at constant like under scrutiny from the FDA, and like there were tobacco companies were trying to destroy the vape industry, and for the most part they did. Like anyway, but here's the thing: the vape industry was lobbying to get to change the classification of e-cigarettes to not be considered a tobacco product, because Truth.org and the other one, there was another, but Truth.org is funded by Philip Morris.
Mm-hmm.
It's funded by tobacco companies because it's a federal law that tobacco companies have to pay for anti-tobacco ads. And so the crazy thing is that the law doesn't say that it has to create like ads that are anti-cigarettes. It has to be anti-tobacco. And so that's when we started seeing all of the still blowing smoke ads for vaping and anti-vaping
Orange
ads.
or something like that. There was like some
Yeah,
I remember
orange.
it was like something orange.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah. That they had to do that because of the lawsuit they lost for they lost some lawsuit about advertising because they were like blurring the lines between marketing to children and not.
Mm-hmm.
And one of those clauses was that they had to actively make campaigns to warn the public about the uses of tobacco.
Right. But they stopped making them about cigarettes and started making them about vaping. Like, when's the last time you heard an anti-cigarette ad on the
No,
radio?
it's been forever.
But also vaping kind of took over as the new thing. So I get it.
Yeah, but smoking has also, like, flammable cigarettes has gone way up.
I actually think it's really cool
Silvia.
for tobacco companies.
Sorry, super cool. I'm just
I actually think that it's like one of the like how good of a product do you have when you can actively market against yourself and still be one of the leading fucking
yeah, dude.
exports or whatever the fuck.
I'm just
Cigarettes
living
are
in my
cool.
little French film, okay?
How do you think your relationship with your father?
How has your relationship with your father affected the way you feel about love?
She has a beret. I'm eating French toast now.
Just the least French person.
French toast instead of pancakes. What are your biggest fears?
As I bite my regular toast.
We just call this toast here.
Have you seen? Oh, is it the Nick Kroll thing where he goes? Who is it? He's like, for breakfast, we'll probably, but it's Russian. He's like, we'll probably do something cool, like cigarettes and chocolate, and then we'll work for 1/2 hour, 2/2 hour, and then we'll have cigarettes and coffee.
1/2 hour, 2/2 hour. I love that line.
2.5 hours.
Yeah, cigarettes are cool, man.
Sex, cigarettes. What else, Sylvia?
Drugs. Let's get it. No, I'm just kidding.
You know what's crazy? I was such a square. Like, I wasn't like judging anyone for it, but I was like terrified, right? Like, I remember like seeing kids pull out weed. We'd hang out. We had this one spot in my school where there's brief hangout area where we'd hang out in the dugout at the baseball area because no one would hang out over there unless they were playing, you know, on our like in between classes and stuff. And I remember seeing a friend pull out weed, and back then, like I was scary. Like weed was scary to me. I'm like, I'm so uncomfortable, you know. That's the kind of kid I was for a while. But like, I wouldn't touch anything. Like the Dare ads worked on me.
Yeah.
Like the dare thing I was one of the few people it worked on. But then I would also be really good friends with addicts in high school. Like one of my closest friends was like a straight up addict. He was doing mushrooms and coke in class and stuff.
I remember seeing somebody do mushrooms in class and then being like, I did mushrooms, I'm doing mushrooms right now. And I didn't even understand. Like, I didn't even get it.
Yeah, I thought he was just playing it up. Like, he's like, I thought my jacket was on fire. And I was like, what?
Liar.
Well, he was doing a lot of stuff. I think he was probably playing it up. But he did coke. Some girl gave her his lunch card to cut it up on the desk in class. So use my lunch card. I was like, this was wild.
Kids, I'll tell you.
My school was it was a shit ton of weed, but also ecstasy.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's wild.
The rave scene got really big when I was in high school.
Yeah.
Molly.
And yeah, when we were in that age, rave shit hit this area like a
I think I just missed it.
DJ Diesel.
Is that? I don't know.
Shaq.
Oh, yeah,
Shaq
that's
Diesel.
Yeah.
I know Shaq Diesel as the rapper. I don't know. Talk to kids. Talk to them when they're in
It probably
kindergarten,
hit
dude.
where you were living to the same as where we were.
Yeah.
It hit this whole inland, this whole area. LA blew up with fucking EDM shit. That
Yeah.
underground EDM dance scene in
Yeah.
LA was tough.
Yeah, I never
Is
got
it-
into it.
I feel like it's good to talk. I know, I get it though. You're going to talk to kindergartners about drugs, and it's like, I mean, there's appropriate ways to do it at different ages,
For
right?
sure.
Like,
for sure. You're like, this is a bag of cocaine, kids.
And this is what it does.
I'm crazy.
it just turns into a bad sketch.
Freak all these kids out. Scare all these kids out of never doing shit.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I honestly believe you should talk to kindergartners about drugs,
Yeah.
just to be clear, but
Yeah, I don't think so either.
Basically, just like, don't eat stuff you're not supposed to.
yeah.
I think drugs is like a good like 6th, 7th, 8th grade area.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where you're like the DARE program situation, even though it didn't really work.
It worked on me.
Worked on me.
It worked on some people, yeah, that's what I'm saying. And
Yeah,
you
but-
guys are the ones that matter.
But the problem is there's just
like
scare
us.
tactics. So once you think you find out some of it's a lie, they're like, how much are
Right.
they lying about?
That's why they shouldn't use scare tactics. Like they should be legit, straight up talk to them about some stuff.
Also, their mascot is a lion.
It's funny. He's a lion.
Also, for your program to be called Dare, and then like if you're
Yeah.
an
More
impressionable kid, and they're like, I dare you to do these drugs, and they're like, I've heard of that.
Also,
but wasn't it like dare you to stay safe or
Yeah,
something?
dare
like that?
dare to be so or something like that.
Yeah.
Dare
Yeah.
to stay safe, I think.
Dare to some boring shit.
I literally marched in a dare parade and I forgot what the initials stood for, and they interviewed me on my. They interviewed kids or whatever at the parade in Monrovia, and they're like, "What does DARE stands for?" And I was like, "I don't know."
Drugs are really evil. That's so funny.
Is that what it stands for?
Drug
No.
abuse resistance education.
I like mine better.
Yeah, that would have been so much.
Yeah. Drugs are really evil.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Nancy Reagan.
I fuck with that evil shit though, dog.
But also, if you saw a kid wearing a DARE shirt in high school, that was the addict at your school.
Oh yeah,
I
it
have
was a-
homies-
Yeah.
they all-
They just came. They became like a Thrasher shirt.
Dare
So
shirt?
people
Yeah.
fucking love
No,
Dare
I don't
shirts.
have a Dare shirt, but it was like that was the
I have a homie with a DARE shirt that I smoke weed with.
yeah.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
all
It's a cool
fucking-
shirt.
Yeah,
It is.
A cool
It
shirt.
is.
Cool shirt to
It
have.
looks rad as hell.
Yeah,
dude.
The vintage.
Red on black pops.
Yeah.
Especially when you're on drugs.
I was just about to say, it looks really crazy when you're on acid.
You dare me?
That's so funny. Have you guys seen that video of I don't know what country it is, somewhere in Asia, where they're trying to teach these little like Asian kids about stranger danger, and they have a classroom full of kids sitting on a chair, and then there's this man, and he's in a costume that makes him look terrifying, and he has a bag of candy, and like he's like wearing a ski mask and shit, and he goes to the first kid and like offers them the candy, and the kid's like, they're all kind of like, oh, this is weird, and the kid grabs the candy, that he snatches a kid and runs out the door, and like the kids screaming down the hall, and then you just see all the little kids squirming in their chairs like, ah. And then he comes back and he starts trying to offer it to everyone, and they're like, no. And I'm like, that's super effective.
Yeah, like all the kids started screaming. I saw that on Instagram recently, and one of the first comment was like, "Great, you just made all these kids scared of black people." I was like wearing a ski mask, and he's like, I don't know, he's wearing like black gloves.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
But also, what if a friendly person offers you candy?
I
And
mean,
you just start tearing.
yeah.
But I just mean like you're setting him up for a situation where somebody in a ski mask is gonna kidnap them. But what if it's just like a regular person?
They can't go trick or treating anymore.
They just start being scared of candy. That's why they're so skinny.
And they don't trust anyone. You just build a lack of trust.
Wish
in.
someone had done that
childhood
to
obesity.
me. Yeah.
That's what it was really about.
Wish someone put a firecracker in my chicken nugget if you catch my drift.
Chicken nugget shrapnel.
Yep.
Gross.
That sounds like another word for it's cloaca.
I went to high school with a girl named Cloaca.
Can't tell if you're messing with me.
Really?
Yeah, her dad was a big Steve Irwin fan. I'm
Dog,
not gonna make the reference.
I remember when I learned that America could be a name. I was like, "That's crazy, dude."
Yeah.
That's how you know Mexicans love America the most.
yeah, exactly. It was a Mexican.
That's my sister's middle name.
Really?
Yeah, the other sister that I found out that I had when I was, I was like, oh, Jasmine, that's pretty. She's like, yeah, Jasmine America. And I was like, that's a country.
Jasmine?
That's a spice. I don't know.
America?
Is that a spice?
That's a rice.
Flower.
Oh,
It's a grain.
Yeah.
Damn it. I'm stupid.
That's America.
Yeah.
All right. Any more questions, Sylvia?
I could come up with one right now. All right. This is a situation, okay?
Hold on. Let me get my French toast.
Okay. You are an only child,
Nice.
okay? You have both your parents, and they seem to have a very loving and caring relationship. But you're definitely a lot closer to your mom than you are your dad. Your dad's kind of distant, but he provides, right?
You're just describing my life.
Yes. You find out your mom is cheating on your dad. Okay? Find out your mom's cheating on your dad, and she confronts you about it because she knows you know. And she's like, I have to tell you this. You know, me and your dad, we've been struggling in our relationship for quite some time. I know it seems like everything is good, but we kind of do it for you because we don't want to, affect you too much. But now that you know what's actually happening, like, I hope your dad can do what he wants, but just whatever you see, whatever you hear, keep it to yourself. I don't need you to start problems with us because it's going to ruin our dynamic. I don't want things to change. Would you tell your dad? You're 16.
It's hard for me to put myself in my 16-year-old self's eyes, but I'd probably do the same thing I would say now, because I act like a 16-year-old. Which is
Yeah, look at
what
your
do
pants.
you? Yeah, look at these things. Which I'd be so disappointed in my mom. I'd be like, really, dude? You have to get your rocks off, dude? Be an adult and just leave. What do you mean you don't want the dynamic to change? You need money? Is that what that means?
Maybe. It could mean anything.
Well, you got to play the mom in this situation because I need the answers. Because the context matters for me a lot. I don't believe in cheating, so I'm going to be like, am I boring you?
She makes a little bit of her own money,
Oh.
but your dad is the main provider.
No. That's what I'm saying. Like, if she's doing it for financial reasons, then GTFO, dude. Like, no, you guys should break up. What you're doing is wrong. Or you should tell him. If you don't tell him pretty soon, or make something happen pretty soon, I'm gonna be real annoying about it. I'm gonna be bringing this shit up and being like, ugh.
What if she's like, I'm gonna break up with him. I'm gonna leave the person that I've been doing that crazy shit with.
Do it right. Wait. Oh, like she was like, oh, I'm gonna stop cheating.
Yeah, I'm gonna stop cheating.
We should call him.
Yeah. Let's hear it.
Let's
Go
do
for
it right now,
Do it right
dog.
now, mom. Fucking weirdo.
I'm gonna stop cheating. Don't tell your dad.
If you actually do it, that's what I'm saying. If you don't make some moves and I don't see that you're actually trying to be like better, because to me that's cheating is bad.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, I'm gonna be like, you better fix this problem, or else I'm gonna be like, bringing it up subtly in front of dad.
Yeah.
That's a real tough one. I mean, I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. It's a real ethical conundrum.
Do things change if you find out she's with a woman and she tells you, hey, I don't know about my sexual identity, and this is something that I've been exploring for quite some time. I'll cut it out, but, you know, I'm just really confused right now, and I don't know how to deal with it. You need to give me time to, like, know who I am, and then if things seem like they're moving in a different direction, then I'd probably will tell your dad and break up with him.
I think for me it would end up being like, it would pretty much end up being like, I don't want to keep a secret. Damn, I'm just gonna be quieter now in case I don't in case I accidentally say it, even if I didn't mean to. Now I gotta be quiet.
Yeah.
Literally, the only reason I'm not immediately telling my dad is because you said that he's distant. And like I have a better relationship with my mom. That's the only reason in this situation. Because if it was both even playing field, dad, I'm telling dad now.
Yeah.
What are you thinking? I don't care if you're confused about who makes you hornier. Fucking grow up. Fucking leave him. You fucking freak. Fucking weirdo freak. Jesus. Yeah, to me, because if it's purely a sex thing, like, what are you doing? We're adults. You're an adult. Be an adult about it. Don't lead my father on or run him up the gambit.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. Is like if they're distant, then it's like
if he's distant, I'll give you a little bit of grace as my mother. I'll be like,
stop being a loser.
yeah, stop being a loser. Like, get your shit together.
Oh,
and
now you
fucking
get
do
to
it.
act like dad?
Yeah. Now you're. We don't need two of you. But if my parents were, if I didn't have that, then I would tell them immediately, probably.
I would lose all respect for the person that told me that I found out, and then I would just immediately be like, that's fucked up. I'm gonna say something.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's I don't know. I don't know, because it's like there is something very like sticking to like what's like right and what's honorable, but also like I don't know these fools' fucking lives.
That's true.
I don't know the ins and outs of their relationship. I see them as my parents, but like
That's what I'm basing it off totally. I'm basing it from my parents. I'm not considering your guys' genitals or your feelings or anything.
No, but I know, but that's what I'm saying. I'm like, I don't know, like it's there. It's at a certain point, it's like this is your guys' fucking life, dog. Like this is your choices, and for my parents to be in a bad relationship, to be like, yeah, obviously it would be like, you should tell him or you should just leave. But like, I'm not going to fucking get in the middle.
Get involved.
Of that. Okay. Wait, let's keep going, because I kind of have another question in the same area, but it's slightly different.
Same. Me too.
What?
What's your question?
Mine is, what if you have a daughter and she's cheating on her boyfriend?
I was going to say something similar, but it was like, what if it's like your sister or your brother cheating on their significant other, and like you don't have alliances with the person they're cheating on?
That's kind of what I was trying to get at.
But I was always, again, I would always just tell them, like, you should tell them or you should break up with them. Like, don't.
I think of the way I would do it specifically is like this behavior you're practicing. Like, look, they're going to find out, or maybe they won't, whatever.
Yeah.
But this behavior you're practicing is going to follow you forever.
Yeah.
If you liked your daughter's boyfriend, would you tell him?
I'd drop hints. I would drop hints however I could without actually saying it.
Damn, can't trust nobody. Anymore.
I straight up, I wouldn't even say like, oh, you should check into what they're doing. I would say like, it seems like you like her a lot more than she likes you. It seems like she doesn't have your best interest at heart. And if I were you, I'd move on.
I'm like,
fucking
you're so sweet,
Mom.
You're so sweet. That's what I would. I would just ignore all of your hints. But that means that the people you can't trust anyone in your family. Like, oh, your family's trustworthy, actually good people, and you're a piece of shit.
Hey, listen.
Two-time an ass.
Because I've seen, not seen it, stuff like that play out, but it's like when the kid's obviously going to keep doing that, and the parents just like, don't stick it out.
Would you feel shame in yourself if you knew your kid was like that? Would you feel like, damn, where did I go wrong?
Maybe not so much where did I go wrong, but like why is this kid like this? I wouldn't take any blame.
I started having sex when I was 13 years old. Just wanted to brag for a second.
That's all I wanted to say.
Just wanted to brag for a second time.
No, but I mean, like, that didn't have any, like, my mom didn't, like, fail me, that wasn't because I was, like, rebelling against her or like, she didn't do something right.
Right. I was going to be like, well.
But that's not cheating. I don't think that's immoral. I think it's not.
No, it's not. I mean, you're
like,
right. But also just, like,
ending up in those
sometimes kids just do stupid things.
Yeah. That's why I would attack it more of like, this is a behavior you're practicing. This is something you're doing now, and it's not going to stay isolated, especially if you don't deal with it properly.
Yeah, that's like being conflict avoidant. And it's like you don't want to break up with somebody, but you don't want to be with them. So you're going to self-sabotage by cheating on them.
But I also think that's a very, like, important learning moment for a child. I probably would tell their significant other, and not for them to, like, I almost don't care if they lost their faith in me or their trust in me, but I'm like, this is called a consequence. Like, whether or not they found out on their own, they found out through me. This is, like, how shitty you feel right now because of how you made them feel. Like, that was going to happen regardless if I told them or not. And the way you're feeling, the shittiness you feel, the shame you feel, you should be feeling it and deal with it.
And I feel the same way too. And even like with both situations, I feel like I would say that, but I know there's a part of me that, like, in real life, when these things happen, it's a little more difficult because it's real life, people's real lives.
Yeah, there's not stuff like this, like, that's been so dire, but there's situations with, like, my youngest brother is 20, just turned 26. But, like, he's in his early 20s, he's going through stuff with work, he's going through stuff with, like, with certain things that I won't get into. But there's situations where, like, as an older brother and seeing him at this stage in his life where I try to give him advice, and most of the time when he doesn't take it, I'm like, I'm like yelling. I'm not like, I want to, like, shake him, but I'm also just like, and it got to a point where we would have long talks about things, and he would tell me about, like, all the ways that he thought things out and why, like, the decision he's making makes sense to him. And it got to a point where, like, I had to be like, all I can do is tell you based off of experience of, like, this is how things are going to go if you keep doing things this way. And all I can do is give you that information. And I've been straight up with them and told them, like, it frustrates me, it makes me upset when you don't listen to me, because I know what's going to happen, but at the same time, you just have to learn on your own. So I feel like in either of these, if it's my mom, it's like, you're a goddamn adult. But if it's like my kid or even a sibling, all I can do is be honest with them and tell them, like, what I think they should do and how they should handle it. But even if I would be super disappointed in them for cheating on their partner, it's like I'm not going to make that decision for them. They are going to have to deal with the consequences as they come up. And it sucks because it involves another person. But I mean, it depends. If like I am super close, like if like for whatever reason, like I'm close to the family of the partner, or like they're a friend of mine, you know, then that's a little bit different. But ultimately, it's like,
yeah, I think there's a lot of small things that add circumstantialness.
Yeah.
Well, also, what about friends? Because I feel like this comes up now too, where it's like, you know that you have friends or you had friends who do shady shit. Are you like, if you don't like their girlfriend, if you do like their girlfriend, are you like...
Sadly, it's a little bit different.
It is different.
It's a little bit different,
It's
with,
different
friends
with friends
because like it kind of goes on what he was just saying. Like I can't like pull your dick out of some girl and be like, don't do this. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So like, unless you invite me, I'm just joking.
Unless it's like two of my friends where I'm like very close to both of them, and then I'm like,
again, circumstances. All the circumstances matter. If I'm friends with both people and what my friend is cheating on my other friend, I might be pissed. And we might have hands.
And then it becomes a thing. Well, like so. Ultimately, if I find out one of my friends is cheating on one of their partners, if one of my friends is cheating, I can be like, dog, don't do that.
Yeah.
But if it's a thing where it becomes a pattern of behavior where I'm like, you're doing a bunch of shitty things, and I'm like, okay, we're probably not friends. Like I can't like.
That's how I would feel. That's how I would feel, because it's like, so you don't really care if you're hurting people, like continuously. Like there's no desire to change.
Unfortunately, on this one, I'm kind of like I'm still gonna be your boy. I'm be disappointed in you, and I'll express that. Unless, like I said, if it was my other friend that you're hurting, we got a different situation on our hands. Yeah. But if you're just like doing your thing and you're like being a womanizer, is that like being a dog? Mm-hmm. Then. If you're being a dog, then I might be like, I'll express disappointment.
Stop it.
Yeah.
No.
Bad boy.
No.
You get a newspaper from somewhere.
Now I'm going to rub your nose in it.
I think behavior like that wears on people over time. And I do think like as long as it would take, it would ultimately end up being that we probably just wouldn't be friends we wouldn't stay friends.
Typically,
because that kind of behavior bleeds into other areas of your personality.
I was just about to say that lifestyle typically is short-lived, though. It's usually like a phase someone's going through, and they get tired of doing that. Most cases that I've seen, people who are like cheaters or doing that kind of stuff like grow out of it. They don't stay doing that their whole lives. Not the ones I've done. I've known
some.
I'm sure. I'm sure there's some people who.
I've briefly known people who are like, I've never seen any relationship without it. And I'm like, what?
That's where they just act like it's human nature.
Yeah.
They're just like, this is what men do. This is what people do. And I'm like,
I don't hang out with
you're
weird.
fucked.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And I was just like,
if you're like that.
So
that's what I'm saying. It's like, it's a indication of your personality, and it's just like we're not gonna vibe.
Yeah, for sure. If you're doing that kind of stuff, we're not gonna vibe.
I think it's a little different with girlies though. Sometimes.
Go on.
Well, like women with other women. Not that women should support all women, but like when it's your girlfriends, like if you hate the guy she's with, you're like, go off, bitch. Do more. Go to.
Right.
But is it because like he's just been a shitty dude for a while?
Yeah, like if he cheated on her already and she's forgiven him, I'm like, fucking cheat on him 1,000 more times. Leave him. Don't be with him. Like convince him.
That's different.
Yeah,
that's for sure
like
different.
Karma.
But then also, if
like just the same.
What if he's the best guy?
Yeah.
The way that changes, I think it's close to what you're saying, where you express your disappointment. But with girls, it's like I've been in those experiences as well, where I'm not expressing disappointment. I'm just telling them how dumb they are.
Right.
I'm just like, things aren't good. You're not going to find anyone better than this. And the fact that you're just throwing that opportunity away seems like you're never gonna have anything good in your life.
That's crazy. Telling someone that they're never gonna find someone better than this is wild to me.
I've meant it.
That's
I
funny.
I've
believe
meant it so
You
hard.
know, it's funny. Your kindness and your bluntness are very like even.
Ooh, boy.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
It's like, you know.
I love an even blunt.
Speaking of which,
Yeah. Well, just to bring that full circle back to the well, I guess not full circle, but if my mom was cheating on my dad, after my dad had been cheating on my mom for a long time, I'd be like, "Go off, sis."
yeah, go off, queen.
Yeah.
And it's also like, I'm tired of this.
Yeah.
As a kid.
Yeah.
It's like, just get a divorce already.
Yeah, if I was a kid, if I was young, that's how I feel. At this age, I wouldn't
But yeah,
feel that
it's
way.
like, it's usually like, that does change a lot of things, like how shitty the other person has been. But it's
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
ultimately, everything has to
But then
should
just
come
leave.
to an end.
Just leave if the person should.
Yeah,
Yeah, quit staying
Yeah.
or sticking around for trouble.
Yeah.
Well,
love everyone and tell the truth.
Love
Yeah.
everyone and tell the truth. Put that on a t-shirt.
Probably
Hell
already
yeah.
is. It's a Ram Dass phrase.
I like the one we made up though, dude. Shut up and find love.
Oh yeah, shut up and find love.
Someone
You
make
hear
that
that?
shirt and send it to Josh.
It's already 2 sizes too small.
It's stained.
Dude, I was we ate ice cream earlier, and I
What?
She brought an ice cream
I
from
bought
home.
a box of Haagen
And
Dazs.
she
He
gave
gave
me
me a
one.
ride. I was like, "Do you
And-
want some ice cream?" I wanted to take a Haagen Dazs to the car. I wasn't gonna bring him one.
And so I was eating it, and I didn't notice that I dropped some chocolate on my fucking shirt, dude. So I'm calling myself out right now. But I was like, she was like, "It's not that big a deal. It's not that big a deal." I was like, "I can't be a fat guy with a chocolate stained shirt."
She's like, trust me.
That's exactly what I said too.
She said. She was like, "I got so many stained shirts, probably 100."
She's got like ice cream.
You know what he said? He said, "Yeah, I don't really want to dress like you."
She was like, I'm trying to lose some weight because I want to, like, they don't sell any of the cool clothes in my size. And she was like, I find cool clothes all the time in sizes. And I was like, no offense.
He's like, "That's not my style." He said, "You dress like a little brother."
My little bro.
And honestly, that's the vibe I'm searching for. Like that's what I like. I feel like that's why we're all friends. I'm just your little brother. Like your big little brother. You know?
Yeah.
You
She
do
was
give
like,
little
that's
critter energy like Ryan.
she it was so
It's the
funny. She
hair,
was
the
like,
hair's not helping.
I'm a frizz ball.
she was like, that's all I ever wanted to be was someone's cool little brother. And I was
Yeah.
like, well, I didn't say cool.
Yeah. I'll get there. I need to learn more jokes.
Do you have a last question for the audience?
Me?
If they made it this far.
Yeah, give the audience one of your questions.
Give the audience one of my questions. Okay.
And listen, if you're listening on Apple or Spotify and Silvia asked this question, go onto YouTube and leave a comment.
Yeah, we appreciate your comments on all platforms, but go to YouTube
Yeah.
and leave the
Please.
comment, please, for the love of God. All right.
I think I just want to pose my first general question as the question is how has your relationship with your father affected the way you feel about love?
Crazy.
Insane question. Insane question.
But also, never thought about it till now.
And I want to hear all about it. I don't think we have time, but after this,
From
Yeah,
us,
let's get into a real deep conversation.
from us at Un Poquito. Don't lie.